Hello, GenderqueerChat viewers. I'm Christina. Today is Wednesday, and the topic this week is a viewer question, basically discussing what is deemed, or what was deemed as transgender genderqueers. Now, I always thought, correct me if I'm wrong, that transgender is the umbrella term for people who don't identify with the sex that they were born into, basically, which I thought included genderqueers. So, but I understand the way that they're using this term in that we're talking about genderqueer people who decide to medically transition. And, which I assume, I'm going to have to double check on this, I assume the term for people who medically transition are transsexuals, I think. And then genderqueer, or sorry, not genderqueer, transgender is the umbrella term, I think. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, so, in terms of genderqueer people who decide to medically transition, whether that's wrong or not, no. In my opinion, and in Joe's opinion, and in Stacy's opinion, no, it is definitely not wrong. And as they've both said, there have been plenty of people on this channel previously who did medically transition. I'm not sure whether they all still identify as genderqueer or not. They might have, again, as Stacey pointed out, genderqueer might have been a stepping stone for them to identify as the opposite sex from what they were born into. So, yeah. But, yeah, you don't have to, obviously. You can still be genderqueer and transition and still identify as genderqueer. Now, me personally, talking about my own transition, whether I'm ever going to, I have been, flip-flopping as to whether to ever take testosterone and whether to ever get any surgeries. Bottom surgery, I think, is pretty much 99.9% not going to happen. Top surgery is probably 80 or 90% not going to happen. What's more likely would be a breast reduction for me, because I feel the need to have a little bit of a smaller chest in accordance with my gender identity and physical comfort, to be honest. And now testosterone, any cisgendered woman can get a breast reduction. That's not really an issue. But if I wanted to, there are plenty of genderqueer people who decide to just get top surgery and don't get hormones or whatever, like any transgender people, you can have many different ways of transitioning. You can have hormones and no surgeries. You can have one or more surgeries with no hormones or whatever. Any combination that you like. Or you can go, fully transition and get everything to become physically, the other sex or whatever. So my issue is that I would like to take testosterone, but I don't. There's, the number one issue that I have with it is that I don't really want to lower my voice, because my voice is androgynous enough as it is. So I don't really, and that's like one of the first things that changes, right? And it changes dramatically. Like, I could be a serious bass, and it's not really something that I want. So here's the thing. And if you are considering transitioning, whoever posed this question, and you don't want to fully transition, and you want to take a small amount of hormones, be prepared that the medical community may not be so happy with that, because a lot of people in the medical community don't know how to deal with genderqueer people, let alone binary transgender people. So, I would strongly suggest, and this is what I'm doing, and I don't want to, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not, an expert by any means, but just a suggestion. you might want to think about going with finding a place that has informed consent. So that, which is what I'm planning to do. Now, the closest place for me that has informed consent for hormones is west, about a 14, 15-hour drive, something like that. So it's a little ways. As far as I know, my province of Alberta does not have it. And Saskatchewan doesn't have it. I think just Vancouver. So that's where I would be going. So, I revealed the city I live in, but whatever. Yeah, so now, if you're thinking of transitioning and you only want to partially transition, and I'm referring mostly to hormones here, I mean, you can get top surgery and no issue. There's no, like, medical issue that I can think of doing that. And it's hopefully shouldn't be too much of an issue. Hopefully, I don't know. There's some people, I guess, who might not be willing to do it unless you're on hormones, but whatever. Hopefully you can find somebody who's willing to do top surgery, if that's the route that you want to go down. And obviously I'm speaking for, the path of someone assigned female at birth, because I don't know as well the pathway from the other side. For male assigned at birth people who want to transition slightly. But what I was gonna say about hormones is that there's been a theory that I've been reading about that it's not very good to go on a low dose of testosterone for a long amount of time, because then your testosterone and your estrogen are fighting all the time. So they shouldn't be equal. You should have one that's dominant and one that's inferior. So that's complicated. I don't know how much validity there is to that. So if there is any validity to that, me personally, I'm thinking about just taking a very small-ish amount of testosterone to get, because I don't want my voice to change anyways. So the amount of testosterone that I would need to get little changes, like, I don't know, more hair growth or something, or a little bit more muscle or whatever, and not have my voice change, probably a pretty small amount. So I think I'm good with that. But still, I don't know how much validity there is to that. You probably should talk to a doctor. But doctors don't really know much about this whole transitioning thing. So anyways, regardless of all of that, no, there's nothing wrong with you wanting to transition and being genderqueer, and you can fully transition and still be genderqueer. That's not an issue, because, there's a difference between body and mind. Unless you want to partially transition to appear androgynous, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do, you can still... I know people who don't identify within the binary and have fully transitioned, and that's no issue. So it's up to you. It's a complicated thing. It's because some of it's permanent, and yeah, some of it's it's complicated stuff. So figure out however you want to feel. However you think you'd feel the most comfortable in your body. Just think about it. I've been thinking about it for years now, so... but I'm slow to decide things at the best of times anyways, so... let alone huge decisions like this. So, think it over, and however you can imagine yourself, what is your self-image, and try to become congruent with that, I suppose. Whatever you think is best, But, yeah, you can still be transitioning and still be genderqueer, but that's not an issue. Obviously, this also means that you don't necessarily have to medically transition to be genderqueer, to appear androgynous, what have you. to showcase, you know, your genderqueer identity. But again, and apart from that, you don't even have to appear androgynous to be genderqueer, because then, you know, gender presentation can be different from your internal gender, and just, you know, do whatever you feel like. Basically. But I was going to say that in terms of, you can still be androgynous and look and appear and, you know, be androgynous and not transition. Now, again, I'm lucky because I have a low voice. I had an incident today. I was at the bank, went up to the teller, you know, talking, whatever, and she had to bring over someone else, and they're talking about my account, and it wasn't anything serious, I assure you, but she referred to me as him, so, and I wasn't binding. You know, I had to actually specifically not bind it today, because I was like, okay, I'm going to the bank, they're going to read my name, I should appear female so that it doesn't look weird. And, no, I still appeared male to this chick, so that was fascinating. And I have a sizable chest, so figure that one out. Sometimes I pass as male when I'm not even trying, and I'm not even, like, it's just freaking blows my mind, but that's beside the point. Anyway, yeah. So where am I at now? Oh, geez, I've been talking for a while. So, bonus question. Do you have any weird or unusual talents? Well, I can sort of sing. And I say sort of because I'm not hugely professional or anything. But that's not really an unusual talent. So, what can I say? Again, like Joe said, I really should have been thinking this through before I started this video. The one thing that came to my mind, I always used to do this when I was little. So you got my arm here, and I can, like, turn it around, like, however many degrees, and then I can shake your hand with my screwed up arm. That's kind of weird, because I guess I'm flexible in that way. Let me think. Well, I've got, like, a double-jointed thumb. That's not really a talent, that's just, I don't know. Some people don't have double-jointed thumbs. That's what I heard. I don't know. What else is there? What is there that I have an unusual talent of? Staying online into the wee hours of the morning and completely ruining my schedule because it's summertime and I have nothing to do. So, waking up at like 6 in the evening, that's my talent. As other people have mentioned, embarrassing things like that. Not embarrassing, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, there's really not much else that I can say, and I've gone over 10 minutes now. 11, 12, whatever. Ridiculous. I am blabbering on and on, so I will end this video, and see you guys next week. Bye.